faced with a decision. The finish line is in front of me. I have 3 semesters to go. But now I am faced with the possibility of having to give up my dream because my state legislator has already given up on me and thousands of others like me.
My name is Shirley, and I'm a senior. My major is communication design. More than likely not. I'm a veteran, so I spend most of my money comes from my financial aid. I'm doing my whole college on my own, so financial aid does play a big part in whether or not I'm able to go. I've taken out some small loans, nothing too substantial. Depend on financial aid, and my GI Bill is out after this semester, so that takes a lot of stuff out of it too. Right now I can't pay that, so unless we get that money and I find another way to get some more money, I'm not going to be able to go in the spring. Yeah, I work here on the campus. Honestly, it should be. I don't think it should have been cut. The funding should have been halved in the first place. They should have, taken from somewhere else, because especially since the economy was in such a downturn.
Future of hope or a life of difficulty.
Because I don't have my degree yet, I'm going to have to go back to taking a job that doesn't pay well, which is the hole that I'm trying to get out of in the first.
Well, just finances, depending on whether I can make it through, I'm 39, obviously non-traditional student, and I have 2 teenage girls at home.
Wow.
Single mom. And, I initially started on this college track to make things better for us, financially and in a sense of stability. Yeah, I take everything I can get. I apply for, the federal loans and the Pell Grant and the MAP grant and everything, Yeah, but it's pretty exciting, I really hope that we can make it work. I want to get our MAP grant back. Is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to just sit here and hope I make it through, or hope I can, not have to go back into the workforce next semester. And, I don't want to just hope. I want to get the MAP grant back and feel more secure about knowing that we're going to make it. Boy, that's a tough one.
Because that's where this is going.
Well, first of all, I think one thing I'd really like to say is, imagine if someone took your income and cut it by more than half. It still wouldn't be as little as what I'm trying to live on, I'm sure, because I'm sure legislators make a whole lot more money than I do. I'm sure they live on a lot more than $1,300 a month.
Sure.
But, I'm sure that their bills are structured towards what they're making. So just imagine someone going, oh, well, I'm just going to take half of what you're making, so now try and pay your bills. It's huge. It's a big deal. And, being a first time, being the first person in my family to go to college, this is so important. You know, I was sorry.
You're all right.
I grew up with my grandma, who was very traditional, very old-fashioned, and you know, she was stay at home, cook 3 meals a day. You know, nobody ever really thought about college. That's just what you did, and that's what women did. And you know, the man went to work. I stayed home with her. I learned how to cook when I was 4, and that's just the way things were. My mom was actually in the military, and that's why I was living with my grandma. But you know, nobody really talked about college. That wasn't really an option. It was an option for rich people, and that's just the way things were back then. And that's how I was raised. And then I got older, and things were changing, and I realized, wow, would have been nice to have a college education, but by the time you're an adult and making a living for your family, it's really hard to make that transition back to this college life and to take that hit, you know, as far as income goes, you know, because you can always make more just being out in the workforce. So it's hard to sacrifice that and come back. But I mean, I just finally came to that point where I had to. It was important. And not only that, it wasn't so much wanting to be the first person in my family to go to college, but I wanted to set an example for my kids. You know, I've talked to my kids about going to college their whole life, because once I realized how important it would have been for me, then I made that something that I always talked to them about and told them that option is there. You really need to take advantage of that. And so, you know, the biggest thing I can say to someone in the legislature is just, you know, please put that money back.
I've talked to the legislative leaders of both parties in both houses. They're committed to this. We're going to get this done. Whatever revenue we need to find, whether it's a cigarette tax, whether it's closing loopholes, whether it's finding some other revenue, whatever it's necessary, we got to get it done.